Everyone, it's Bethany. Welcome back to the 25 Days of Cricut Cheer. In this video, we are going to be creating some little reverse canvas ornaments, and I think this is one of the videos that I am most looking forward to creating for you because I just love this idea. I think it's going to turn out really, really pretty, and I cannot wait to see how everything comes together in the end. So for this project, you're going to need little canvases, and these are 4 by 4, I believe. So these are 4 by 4 canvases. I purchased them in a 4-pack from Target, and I'll be sure to link all of the material that I use in this video in the description box below. But I went ahead and already removed the canvas. So they come traditionally wrapped just like a wrapped canvas would, just like this. And I went ahead and deconstructed them already. And the reason I did that before the video was because I wanted to have these stained and ready. And I'll also place a link to the stain that I used for these little canvases. And they turned out really, really pretty. If you need help learning how to deconstruct a canvas to start a reverse canvas project, I'll place a link to a tutorial in the top right corner that will show you just the whole process from start to finish. I went ahead and sped it up for this tutorial just because I've already done a tutorial on reverse canvases and it's so easy. So if you need that reference, go ahead and watch that video. So we have the little frames all ready to go with the canvas saved. I also have some Smart Iron-On in navy. I love this color. It's one of my favorites. This is actually a box of scraps, so I'm going to go ahead and put them on my mat so that I can use my scrap pieces. This craft and other ornament crafts are a wonderful way to use your scrap pieces, so be sure you pull out all those little tiny pieces that you saved from other bigger projects because this is a time when those will come in handy. I have a measuring tape, and then I also have a little bit of ribbon, and I believe this is from Michaels. We're going to be doing all of this on the Cricut Joy today, but I'm going to really quick grab a little measurement. And I have about 2.5 inches if I measure just the inside of my little frame. So I have about 2.5 inches to work with. So I'll probably keep my images at 2 by 2. For heating up, because we're going to be pressing our iron-on onto the canvas, I'm going to be using my little 6x7 EasyPress, and then we're also going to be using some hot glue, which we'll use later, to put the frames back together. There are many different ways that you can attach the frame back when you are doing reverse canvas, and I'm going to be doing hot glue for this tutorial, but the other tutorial that I linked is a great tutorial for learning a different method. All right, let's go ahead and hop into Design Space and get the images sized and ready to cut.
Okay, so this is going to be really quick and easy because I'm using pre-made files. I purchased both of these independently from designbundles.com. So independently as in they were 2 separate purchases. So I'll be sure to link both files down in the description box in case you want to purchase them for yourself for a different project. So I love this. This is a really, really pretty snowflake. I just thought it was beautiful and I thought it would be perfect on my Christmas tree this year. And then I also love this file. It says, Jesus, best gift ever. So what I'm going to do really quickly is simply just size these down. So I am going to do about 2 inches by 2 inches. I think that'll be perfect. So that's going to be the size for my first one. And then this, as you can see, there are multiple layers in this file. So I need to come down and attach all of them together. And then I will go ahead and size that down as well to about 2 inches by 2 inches. And that looks just about right. Okay, so they are all sized and ready to go. Super, super easy. Now all I have to do is just make sure my Joy is selected. You can do this on any cutting machine, and then I would go ahead and say make it. I'm going to go ahead and place my material on the mat because like I said, I'm using tiny scrap pieces of iron-on. I'll say done. And then what I'm going to do is it obviously thinks that there are 2 different colors of black. So let me hit cancel and show you how to fix that. If you click on one of the images, you can come over to color sync and it just thinks that the snowflake is a different shade of black than the other. So what you can do is just drag the snowflake to the other layer that has all of the other pieces, and then they will be the same colors. Then when you go back to make it, then they will place it right on the same mat. Okay, so we are all set. I'm going to actually place mine just like this, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to mirror my image and say continue. I will go ahead and browse all material, and then I am going to say Smart Iron-On. Then I'll say done, and then I'll go ahead and load my material into my machine using my mat, and then we will go ahead and get it all cut out.
Okay, so I went ahead and loaded a little piece of scrap iron-on onto my mat. I have it the shiny side down. Then I'll go ahead and load it into my machine, and then I'll get cutting. As that's cutting, I'm going to go ahead and get my EasyPress all preheated. So I'm going to turn it on and I'm going to preheat it to 340 for 30 seconds. Okay, so that is all done. So I'm going to go ahead and say unload. And those cut out so pretty. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I think this is going to be one of my favorite crafts. What I'm going to do is go ahead and trim them apart really quickly, just so it'll make weeding a little bit more manageable. And then I will go ahead and start with the snowflake. So I'm still shiny side down, and then I'll start weeding that way. Now, because this image is so small, again, it's only 2 by 2, I just want to make sure that I take my time and weed really, really gently. Now, this looks like a very complex image, but it actually almost weeds in one piece. There's going to be a couple places where I need to go back and get a few little pieces from it, but for the most part, this is going to weed almost all in one solid piece. Okay, so this first one is all done. It turned out really, really cute. So most of it was all in one piece, and then in that innermost circle, there is a little leaf that has to be individually, the little middles have to come out. So that turned out really, really pretty. So now I'm just going to go ahead and do the next one, and I'm just trying to remember kind of where, what little elements are in this one. It kind of helps to also keep it a little image up on your design space screen so you can get an idea of where things are located. But this as well is going to weed almost all in one piece, and then we'll just go back and grab the middles of the letters. Okay, so now that I have the little designs all weeded out, I'm going to go ahead and start getting them ready to press. So I'm going to just grab my EasyPress, and I'm going to preheat my little canvas material for about 5 seconds over the material, just to preheat it, make sure it's all ready to go. That's about good. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab whichever design first, and then I'm going to bring my little frame on here just so I know where to center this. I'm going to cut down my carrier sheet just a little bit so I can go ahead and tuck that within my frame. And you just want to make sure you have enough material around the edge. So that looks just about right. It doesn't have to be completely perfect. You just kind of want to get an idea for where it's located. Okay, so that looks good. I'm also going to place a little piece of parchment paper over the top just to protect the canvas while I am pressing. Okay, and then I'm just going to simply take my press and place it right over my design, and I'm doing 340 for 30 seconds, and it's light pressure. Okay, so that's done. Now what I'm going to do is, being careful because my material is really hot, I'm going to flip it over, and I am going to repress for an additional 15 seconds on the back. Okay, so that's great. Now this is a cool peel, so I'm just going to set this off to the side. I'm just going to place it on my cold desk because it will help cool it down quicker. And while that's cooling, I can go ahead and do my second little ornament here. So I'm going to go ahead and preheat it first. So again, just about 5 seconds. Okay, and then I'll just place my design right on here. And again, just placing my frame as well, just to make sure I have enough space around, which looks great. And I'll put my paper right back over, and I will press with light pressure. Okay, and then again, I will just flip it over carefully because it's really, really hot. And then I will do an additional 15 seconds on the back. Okay, so these are all cool. So I'm going to go ahead and peel at an angle and just monitor and make sure everything has laid down, which it has. It looks really, really good. Just double checking. Yep, it looks good. Okay, so that is done. And then this one is still, oh no, that's actually cooled as well. I thought that was still warm, but it is good to go. Okay, so both of our designs are ready. Okay, so I'm going to set these to the side for just a second because before I put them back within the frames, I want to put my little loop that will help hang it onto the Christmas tree. I want to place that on my little frame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my hot glue. And the reason I'm doing it in this order is simply because I want to hide my little ribbon underneath my canvas. You guys will see how that finishes really, really well at the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some glue and put it right on the top middle of my little canvas there. And then I'm going to put one loop right on there, being careful not to go too far down because you don't want it to peek in through the window of your little frame. And then I will just go this way. So I'll bring one more bit of glue. And then just give it, just give it about 5 seconds or so to really dry. 5 to 10 seconds. Okay, we'll let that one dry and then I'll just do the second really quickly. Okay, so those are drying really, really nicely. So when you turn them over, it has a really nice little ribbon loop there, and I think that looks really, really nice. Okay, now remember, these are really lightweight, so I think that that is going to work perfectly. If you wanted to do anything additional, you could put a little thumbtack there if you'd like, but I think that the lightweight of this is going to be just fine for hanging this on a tree. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to hot glue my ornament frame to the little canvas. So if you have another way that you like to do this, feel free to do it that way. I am simply going to use hot glue for this because it's such a small project in nature and I think it's going to work just fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my frame over and I'm going to add a generous amount of glue to the back of my frame here. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I am going to turn this over quickly and center it the best that I can, and then press down. Okay, so we'll set this aside and let that dry, and we will repeat that same process with our second frame. So just adding a generous amount of glue all the way around that frame. In my other tutorial with the reverse canvas, you see me using thumbtacks, which is also another really, really great way to put it back together in the end. So with my True Control knife, I'm just going around the perimeter of my frame and scoring that extra canvas so that it comes off. And then if you want to use scissors, you can do that because you might find that you have a little bit better control with scissors, but I like to use my True Control knife. It works really well. And then once you're done, you can turn it over and see it leaves a nice clean edge. You can also, if you have any little pieces that need to be cleaned up, you can just use your scissors and trim it really quickly, but it looks really, really nice on the back. And then on the front, we have our little frame there. I think it turned out really, really cute. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is a really quick and easy little idea, and I think it offers for a really unique and very nice farmhouse looking ornament. So I hope you guys found this really helpful. If you did, please be sure to give this a thumbs up, and also let me know which one turned out to be your favorite. I don't have a favorite. I think both of them are really, really cute. So I love how both of them turned out, but I will see you guys all in the next video, and I hope you guys are enjoying the series.